This screencast goes over how to take a linear programming problem and solve it. I do just have one example this time around. As you can see, it is sitting on the screen. You are the assistant manager of an appliance store. Next month you will order 2 types of stereo systems. It tells you that Model A costs $300 and you make a $40 profit on each one sold. Model B costs $400 and you make a $60 profit. You're expecting to make a profit of $4,800 and you're expecting to sell at least 100 units. They would like you to know how many of each model should you order in order to minimize the cost. So because it's asking you how many of each model, that's what I'm going to make my variables. So we'll make X the number for Model A and Y the number for Model B. Okay, we have some information on profit. You expect to make a profit of $4,800. Now, the way this one's worded, it's a little deceiving. We actually would like to have a profit larger than that, so we will use greater than or equal to. And it says we want to sell at least 100 units. So again, we want that to be greater than or equal to 100. And we're trying to minimize our costs. So let's see, profit. We make $40 on Model A, so 40x will be the total profit for Model A. We make $60 on Model B, so 60y is the profit for Model B. When we're selling the units, we're going to add how many of A and how many of B we sell, so that's x plus y. And in this case, there's no restriction as far as whether I get negative units or not, so we're going to add in x is greater than or equal to 0 and y is greater than or equal to 0. That way we can make sure we do not have negative units. I want to minimize cost, so we're going to use C equals, let's see, A cost us $300, so 300x for all the A's. And B costs 400, so it's going to be 400y for all the B's. Okay, not quite ready to graph. Got to solve for y. Subtract 40x from each side. That gives me 60y is greater than or equal to negative 40x plus 4,800. Again, I'm kind of running out of room here. Divide everything by 60. And that gives me y is greater than or equal to negative 2/3. And that is a 2 there. Plus, 2/3 x, don't forget that. And we get, let's see, 80. Okay, second one, we're going to subtract x from each side, and that gives me y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 100. Now, as I'm looking at this, I know I'm in my first quadrant, so instead of leaving my axes where they are, I'm going to draw in new axes, and we're going to maybe count here by, we can do tens, I think that will work. So I'm going to label 10, 20, again 10, 20. I don't quite have enough room here. Okay. In red, y-intercept is 80, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Here's 80 right here. Count down to right 3 a couple of times to try to get myself a nice point. And that line's going to be solid. And we want that to be greater than or equal to, so we're going to go above my line. Okay, negative x is plus 100, so here's 100. Counting down 1 and right 1. A couple of times, again, trying to get myself a nice line here. It's right here. Again, not necessarily perfect, but it kind of gives us the idea we're looking for. Again, we're shading above here. And x has to be greater than or equal to 0, so we're going to the left of my y-axis and above my x-axis. So we get this space here. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where that intersection point is. So bear with me 1 second here so I can see where I counted. 1. Okay, so here's 1 point here. 1, 2, 3. Here's 1 point here. Okay, this is my actual intersection point down here. Again, I didn't draw it in very well. So right there is that intersection point, and it is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 60. fun, 20, 30, 40, 60, 40 is what that appears to be. This intersection point here is at 0, 100. And out here, let's see, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. 120, 0. Okay, so we are checking 3 points. We are checking 0, 100. We are checking 60, 40. And we are checking 120, 0 in our cost function, which is 300x plus 400y. So let's check it out. 300 times 0 plus 400 times 100, that gives me, let's see, 0 plus 40000, 40,000, a cost of $40,000. Okay, 60, 40, 300 times 60 plus 400 times 40. Let's see, 18,000 plus 16,000. That looks like it gives us a cost of $34,000. So that's less. 120. So we have 300 times 120 plus 400 times 0. That gives me 36,000. Plus 0, that gives me a cost of 36,000. So it looks like this is my winner. So translating that, that is 60 of Model A that we want to order and 40 of Model B. And that gives, Model B, that gives me my answer I am looking for.